Every 6 months or so, a big-budget stab at possession and exorcism is released wide, trying to be the second coming of The Exorcist. Hell, even the ads get some critical quote from some obscure site saying, "Better than The Exorcist," or something like that. Pray for the Devil is the latest, and you can imagine how good it is. It's being released on DVD and Blu-ray this week, so let's dig into it. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals. Click subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for notifications. Pray for the Devil, aka The Devil's Light, is new on DVD and Blu-ray from Lionsgate. It's directed by Daniel Stamm and written by Robert Zappia, Earl Richey Jones, and Todd R. Jones. Jacqueline Byers plays Sister Anne, a victim of childhood abuse from her diagnosed schizophrenic mother. This seems to have given Anne the compassion and empathy to connect with others in ways others simply cannot. Anne wishes to be the first female exorcist, something the Catholic Church frowns upon. But despite being held back by all of her teachers and peers, Anne attends a Catholic hospital as an attending nurse specializing in possessions. The rise in modern demonic possessions causes the church to open up an exorcism school, which not only houses blossoming priests wishing to fight demons, but also has a long hallway full of people claiming to be possessed. Anne connects with a specific client, young Natalie, played by Posey Taylor, who claims to be possessed by the very demons who possessed her mother all those years ago. Breaking every rule of the Catholic Church, Anne decides it's up to her to take on the demons herself. Look out, Satan. This exorcist has ovaries. The future of the Catholic Church is female. So Pray for the Devil is a ridiculous movie on many, many levels. I understand that feminism was just discovered by Hollywood a few years ago, and every movie these days has to have an empowered female character leading it. And we all know that the Catholic Church is based on tradition, and that tradition has been largely sexist, with males holding all level of authority within it. I understand the urge for Hollyweird to see the subject as the last bastion against the tides of feminism, and that making a film where a woman challenges those beliefs is attractive. But I doubt this is the movie that will storm the gates of the Vatican and change the Pope's mind about male and female roles in the church. These roles are cemented into the church. I'm all for equality, but there are places like the Catholic Church that just aren't going to budge on these feminist issues. And while the filmmakers are very quick to condemn the Catholic Church, which is a pretty easy target these days, I'm left to wonder why they don't take such a brave and scrutinous stance on the religious and social beliefs of Muslims and other countries who view women in a much more demeaning light. One of the issues Anne points out is that the church's teaching keeps the priest at an arm's length from the possessed, and that through empathy and personal connection, Anne is somehow wired differently to make a much closer connection with the demons, getting to know them, and thus finding new ways to defeat them. That's all well and good, but the way this film unfolds, Anne's chest-beating pride sending her in to deal with patients she's not prepared to deal with, reeks of youthful naivete. Yes, Anne gets down in the dirt with the demons, but that leaves her exposed to these demons herself. This mistake leaves Anne and those around her paying dearly with lives lost. But all of that is glossed over for an over-the-top last act, with Anne standing triumphant, so a few bodies left in the wake is okay, I guess. Yet supporters of this message behind this film will never see it this way, because it is the church and those stingy male priests telling her what to do that are being defied. Yes, challenge authority and all that, but when it ends with lives lost, then the intentions steering the film are all out of whack. In the end, Anne is rewarded for her reckless actions rather than reprimanded. What plays out is simply fantasy. Then again, for me, the teachings of the church is just kind of fantasy anyway. I feel that the reason why there have been many failed attempts at exorcism films through the years is that there are not a lot of devout people left out there. When The Exorcist was released, it was a simpler time. While the concept of free spiriting was introduced, the church still had enough sway over the world that all of the blasphemous things occurring in that movie were seen as scary and taboo. With the church occupying so little of the modern populace's bandwidth these days, it's no wonder the thought of the devil possessing someone isn't seen as that scary anymore. Because of that, I don't think we're going to get another movie that grips and strangles you like The Exorcist did. The collective mindset simply doesn't see the devil as all that bad. In fact, there are a lot of aspects, such as challenging authority, that are seen as admirable these days. I mean, think about it. Being possessed ain't half bad. You don't have to go to work. You get a lot of bed rest and people waiting on you hand and foot. Yeah, it's bad for the complexion, but that's nothing a few facial scrubs couldn't take care of. Who wouldn't want to step out of one's life as the devil takes over for a bit? Sociological commentary aside, the whole concept of a secret school of exorcists feels altogether ludicrous. The film attempts to debate differences between religion and psychology. It also wants to open a discussion about the difference between male and female approaches to treatment. It also wants to carry that all-important feminist message. These are serious issues, but they're made comical when the concept is treated like the X-Men, led by a bald-headed Colin Salmon as Father Quinn. Quinn even has his own form of a danger room where the possessed are practiced upon by up-and-coming exorcists to be. He gives lessons about combating the demons as if the class is being trained to be a task force. If you take a step back, it's goofy as hell. This is highlighted by the superhero-esque ending where Anne is ready, crucifix in hand, to take on the demons wherever they may pop up. Filmmaker Daniel Stamm is no stranger to the exorcism genre. One of his first features was The Last Exorcism, which to me was one of the few effective possession films that actually worked in recent memory. It's disheartening seeing him go through the motions with Pray for the Devil. Every trope, every beat, every moment feels like you've seen it before. Stamm and his writers even try to toss in a last-minute twist, which might have been intriguing had it not been handled so late in the game and so clumsily worked into the narrative. Recently, in the comments of another video, a young reader mentioned liking Pray for the Devil for being PG-13. While I tend to like my horror R-rated, I can understand how PG-13 horror can be a benefit for the formation of future horror fans. I understand how those who haven't experienced other possession exorcism films might find Pray for the Devil watchable. The acting isn't horrible, the effects sequences are decent and might cause a wince or two. Unfortunately, the bulk of them are revealed in the many trailers for Pray for the Devil that littered theaters and commercial breaks during the lockdown. This is another film ruined by the trailer, leaving the only mystery as to what order the revealed scenes are going to be placed into the narrative. But bad revealing trailers is the least of Pray for the Devil's problems. Misguided messages, clumsy narrative, wonky morals, and the decision to go comic booky make for a film I'm compelling you to steer clear from. Many of us have seen exorcism movies like Pray for the Devil before, and unfortunately will again in probably about 6 or 7 months.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality.